If you're thinking about moving to Amarillo, Texas and wondering how much money do I actually need to live comfortably here, you're watching the right video. Amarillo has a reputation for being affordable, and compared to places like Denver, Phoenix, Dallas, or California, it absolutely is. But affordable doesn't always mean everything is cheap. So today, I'm breaking down what life actually looks like in Amarillo at different income levels. We're going to talk about living here if your household makes $50,000 to $100,000 to $200,000 and higher. And I'm not just talking about housing. We're going to cover groceries, gas, utilities, restaurants, entertainment, and what kind of lifestyles those incomes actually support here. And for context, everyone's financial situation is different, so think of this as a general look at what different budgets look like in Amarillo, Texas. If you have more specific questions or you want to dive in further, feel free to book a one-on-one Zoom call with me. The link is in the description, or go ahead and shoot me a text. Now let's jump in. Let's start with a household making above $50,000 or around $50,000 a year. You can absolutely live in Amarillo at that income level, but budgeting does matter. Housing will likely be your biggest factor. At this income level, most buyers would typically be looking at homes somewhere around $100,000 to $175,000, which the monthly payment on those are between $1,000 to $1,500 per month, depending on your debt, your down payment, and a lot of other factors. But go ahead and comment lender on this video. I will reach out to you and provide you with some great resources to lock in a budget that works for you. We work with one lender who offers a best rate guarantee and another lender who offers a $1,500 credit at closing for buyers. And that's solely at the time of shooting this video, so that could change depending on when you're actually seeing this. So please make sure you reach out to me and ask. Now, if someone is renting instead, rent in Amarillo typically falls between $900 to $1,400 per month. Obviously, again, depending on size and location of home. But other living expenses here are fairly manageable though. Gas right now in Amarillo, Texas is around $2.76 per gallon, which is significantly lower than a lot of major cities. Groceries for a family of four might fall somewhere around $140 to $200 per week. Just depends on where you shop and what your eating lifestyle is. Utilities here can vary quite a bit depending on the home size. And in the summer, electric bills might run around $200 per month. And then during the winter, heating could be closer to $250 per month. But as far as medical costs are concerned, Amarillo was recently ranked in the top 15 in the entire state for medical affordability as well. So while $50,000 requires careful budgeting, it is absolutely possible to live here, and this is one of the reasons that Amarillo is attractive to people relocating from higher cost cities. Now let's talk about a household income of around $75,000 per year. This is where life starts to feel a lot more comfortable. Home buyers in this income range often look at homes between $225,000 to $275,000. Now you can find a solid home in that price range here. You have choices of new construction as well as homes in nice established neighborhoods in that price range. Property taxes in Amarillo typically between 1.2 to 1.9%. That depends on the location and the county. Insurance is another cost most people don't always think about. For a typical $350,000 home, insurance might run somewhere between $3,000 to $4,000 per year, just depending on the age of the home, age of the roof, other determining factors as well. So go ahead and comment insurance if you need a few good recommendations for local insurance reps. But this is where Amarillo still shines compared to larger cities, because your overall cost of living is still very manageable. Using the mortgage calculator on my website, which I'll link below in the description, a typical payment for a $350,000 home with 10% down might land you somewhere between $2,400 to $2,600 per month. And that obviously depends on interest rate, insurance, taxes, and down payment. But here's what people relocating from other states notice. A house in Amarillo for $350,000 could easily be $700,000 to $1 million in other cities, which dramatically increases buying power here. Now let's talk about everyday lifestyle costs, because affordability isn't just housing. It's how much it costs to actually live life. So eating out in Amarillo is pretty reasonable. For a family of four, a casual dinner might cost you around $40 to $60. A nicer dinner can land between $75 and $120. But entertainment's also fairly affordable here. For example, a movie at Synergy could cost you $10.50 for an adult ticket and $8 for kids. But on Tuesdays, elite members can actually get tickets for just $5. And then minor league baseball with the sod poodles in Amarillo is another popular activity. Tickets can start around $25 per person, and premium seats might actually reach close to $100. But there's tons of food options at the stadium, like the Barnyard, Route 66 Grill, could be Feed and Seed or Panhandle Pizza. And food can range between $5 for an order to $20 depending on what you order. And they even have a kids' play area with inflatables, and wristbands are about $5 per child. So overall, Amarillo offers a lot of things to do without spending a fortune. Now, when household income reaches $150,000 or more, Amarillo becomes extremely attractive. This is where buyers start exploring newer construction, luxury homes, homes with land, custom builds, and in the 450 to 700,000 range. And so this is where relocation buyers really start getting excited because their money goes so much further here. Once a household reaches 200,000 or more, Amarillo opens up a ton of possibilities. Buyers in this range often explore luxury homes, acreage properties, custom homes, or larger land purchases. For example, we help clients move here from South Texas, where one works remotely, the other took a management position at Buc-ee's, and they purchased a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, almost 2,000 square foot home on 10 to 12 acres for under $400,000. And another family moved here from Illinois where they both work for the VA. They bought a beautiful, newer custom, modern home on over an acre for less than $620,000. And we recently helped clients relocate from Denver, where he works remotely and she homeschools the kids. And they purchased 5 acres of land for under $115,000 to build a beautiful home on. Those kinds of opportunities are exactly why Amarillo continues attracting relocation buyers. So the big question is, what income do you need to live comfortably in Amarillo? In my experience helping relocation buyers, the sweet spot tends to fall between $100,000 to $150,000 in household income a year. Now, that range allows people to buy great homes, enjoy life, and still have a ton of financial flexibility. However, you also could see that we just went over it. A person could live here for $50,000 and a person could live here for $200,000 and higher. So that range is across the board, but that's just my professional opinion. If you're thinking about moving to Amarillo, Texas, download our free Amarillo relocation guide in the description below. It covers neighborhoods, housing prices, schools, restaurants, and what to expect before moving here. And if you want help planning your move, go ahead and book a one-on-one Zoom call with me or shoot me a text. All of that information is in the description of the video. And if you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm Derek Manasco, your local real estate expert helping people move to Amarillo, Texas, and I make videos like this every single Monday. So I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next week.